about this. July 1st is our big reignite party for 2017. 2017, July 1st of 2017 is the halfway point of the year. That means that we are halfway through the year. Are you where you wanted to be at this point? Really stop and look at this thing, because this is going to go into a lot of what we're talking about today. Are you where you wanted to be from January 1st? From January 1st to July 1st, did you make the kind of commitments? Did you make the kind of progress that you wanted to see by now? Because if you're not halfway to your goal by now, you're going to have an uphill battle, and you're going to really have to move on this sucker. You're going to have to leverage as much pressure against yourself as you possibly can. And I don't know if you get the implications of what I just said. You got to leverage every ounce of pressure upon yourself as you possibly can. And I know most of you are probably like, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I didn't get in this world to put pressure on myself. I don't like pressure. I like to be free, and I don't like these claustrophobic spaces. Think about it as we go through this. For one, right now, Amanda Scott is showing the world just a little tidbit on what you are actually capable of doing. She's running 176 miles in 7 days. I've been saying 6 days, but apparently it's an extra day. It's 7 days, and it's amazing. I met up with her last night. We had a live video on my personal page. You can go over there and you can check it out. There's a link there that you can click on to go to her donation page, and she's raising money for MS. Her sister cannot walk, is confined to a wheelchair. She has, I think, 4 little kids. I mean, she's got a husband. She's got a family. She's got friends. Everybody that is around a person that has MS sees it, the health of this person gets stripped away bit by bit. It's a terrible disease. It's a degenerative disease. It takes away the most important thing that you actually get in this life, your health. The most important resource that you possibly get in this life is extracted from you little by little until it's gone and you don't get to be here anymore. But before it does that, it strips away your ability to experience your relationships, your time on this earth, and the wealth that you would have accumulated. Our 4 big resources: health, wealth, relationships, time. It strips everything away from those 4 and stops you from having the only thing that you actually get in this life, that is your experience. It's probably why you're here. It's probably why any of this exists, is just to have that experience. Right now, I'm living my purpose and my experience. So that's why I get so fired up about this stuff. Okay, so please head on over there, click that link, and donate $1, $2, $10, $1,000. Doesn't really matter. Just donate something. Okay, even if it's just clicking on it and sharing it out and telling the rest of the world about it. Because just because everybody knows about it doesn't really do anything. You gotta take action. Okay, the July 1st party tomorrow. Be there. Get your tickets. There's a link around here somewhere that you can sign up for it. What you do, you click on that link, sends you to an Eventbrite page. Eventbrite is just a website that you can buy tickets on. These are free tickets. You just got to get yours. You got a free ticket to be able to show up to the party. Once you're there, we'll have food. We'll have some drinks, and then there's other drinks. If you want specialty drinks, you just go. Wildwood will be there serving those. And then a bags tournament. There's going to be some Jenga stuff going on. We might have some hoover ball. We haven't heard back on that yet, but it should be a good time. It's from 6 to 9, and this is the start of the 50 workout challenge. 50 workout challenge is from July 1st to October 21st. That means you get 16 weeks to do 50 workouts. If you do 4 workouts every week, you will attain this. You will not have a problem getting there. 4 workouts per week. Everybody can do that. Really, if it's important, you do it every day. If it's important, you do it every day. That means at least 5 days per week without the weekends, if you don't count the weekends. Okay, so even if you came, let's say you give yourself Friday and Sunday off, and Saturday, and you went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday throughout this whole thing, you are going to make it to your goal. You are going to make 50 workouts in that time frame. So come out, grab a friend that's been thinking about coming to Grit Gym, grab anybody, because you know that they need health in their life. You know that they need strength. You know that they need to be around other people that are on this journey of mindset. You know that everybody can improve upon the nutrition that they are ingesting right now. And you know they need better recovery methods. That's how you really get a full picture of health, is you do exercise, mindset, nutrition, and recovery, because if we don't have the recovery portion, we're actually not. Recovery is where everything happens anyway. That's where the magic happens. That's where the adaptation happens. That's what you want. But what is today? Well, what are we talking about today? Okay, what are we talking about today? If you have any questions, put them down below, and I'll be able to answer them on here, hopefully. I haven't quite figured out Be Live yet, but I'm getting there, learning process. And the thing is, everybody falls victim to this. I mean, as a business owner, I'm not victim to this. I kind of fall into this trap where I fail to this, and I know that basically everybody else does too. And I think it kind of ties into with that fear of not being enough, but really everybody is trying to escape pressure. That they're saying that they just want freedom. They're like, I became an entrepreneur. So the entrepreneur says, I started this business so that no one could tell me what to do. Well, like, who do you think you are? That's not how this works. Like, if you're an entrepreneur, you're not your own boss. You got a bunch of bosses. They're called customers. All right. And it's the same thing in your life. So what ends up happening is everybody's like, I don't want to put pressure on myself. I don't want that pressure. I don't like it. You want to feel claustrophobic in getting out of the place that you are. What you don't know is that you become confined to this small space. You become confined to this small space that you can't break out of. So you've just gotten comfortable in this claustrophobic space. You've got to bust out of that because it's not real. It's the shell that you put inside of yourself, or that you put yourself inside of. Said that backwards. So, but everybody's looking to make their lives easier, but it just gets harder that way. It doesn't get easier to try to make it easier. If you try to make your life easier, it doesn't get easier. It gets harder because now you got more stuff to deal with, because you didn't do the hard thing that actually got you where you wanted to go. You want to leverage pressure. You want to try to employ as much pressure as you possibly can. You want to be asking your friends to keep you accountable, for one. You want to be asking your family to keep you accountable. And it blows my mind when I hear that spouses or other people in the family aren't on board with their significant other or their parent or their kids' health. It's like the dad who won't go and cut weight with his son that's in wrestling. That's bogus. If you're pressuring your kid to cut weight, you better cut some weight too. If you are an overweight parent and you want your kid to lose weight, well, guess what? You better be the first one to go. The leader has muddy boots. You have to employ other people into your service to keep you accountable to the things that you want to accomplish. You got to tell other people your goal. Maybe you don't tell them the whole goal because some people think you're crazy, and you don't want that naysayer. Well, I don't know if you want to shoot for that. This is probably a person that you wouldn't want around you anyway, so maybe it's a nice filter. But you want to try to get as much leverage upon yourself as you possibly can. You want to tell people the things. You want to get, I don't think you want to get scared, but I think you want to get pushed. Nobody does better pushing themselves than having somebody else push them. Not anybody. I don't care who you are. You're looking at somebody that probably has a bigger authority complex than anybody that you know. Despise authority. It doesn't take much to get me riled up on authority. Authority and I do not seem to get along very well. It's not that I'm a huge troublemaker or anything. I just don't see it how they see it. So I have this huge problem with authority, right? So I don't like that. However, I know that if I don't have somebody in the back corner pushing me along, telling me what to do, I wish I could just have somebody right here. Hey, get on task. Hey, you're off task. Hey, let's do this. Right here, right now, you got to push. Now, I wish I had somebody around me all the time doing that. So how do I get that? One thing that I do is I set timers. Every 15 minutes, not during this call, but every 15 minutes, if you're around me when I'm working, there's a timer going off. I'm trying to beat that timer to death. I'm trying to get as much done in that 15 minutes as I possibly can. Even if the task takes me an hour, I know it's going to take me an hour, I still cut it down to that 15 minutes, because if I can get that hour task down, if I can take time out of the situation, I got it done in 15 minutes. And then I can go do things that I actually want to do where I don't need the pressure. Like, I don't need pressure to enjoy food. I don't need pressure to enjoy time with Rachel. I don't need pressure to just hang loose and be with a friend. That's not where you want pressure. Where you want pressure are all these other areas where you want to do what's hard, where you want to do that thing that nobody else wants to do. easy is where it gets hard. If you do the hard things, your life gets easier. If you do the easy thing, your life gets harder. It's the status quo thinking that keeps people stuck back in this really negative space that they can't get out of. You want to leverage pressure as much as you possibly can throughout your day, throughout your life, throughout your journey into your fitness stuff. Okay, it's not necessarily about enjoying the journey, because I mean, look at Amanda Scott right now. She is not enjoying the journey to get to the end of this race. It's agony. Her Achilles tendon feels like mush. Her legs and her feet are all swollen up. She's beaten to death. She can barely run, and she still has what she had last night. She's got 60 miles to go. 60 miles to go. There's no possibility. She would have given up by now. She didn't have somebody in her ear saying, you got to keep doing this. You got to keep going. To all these people that are writing under their posts like, oh, you're doing, what did I read? What did I read? I read one. Don't say it as if it's already been accomplished to somebody else. Say, keep going, one step in front of the other. Keep going, whatever it takes, push forward, keep working hard. You never say it as if you've already gotten it. Like, you would never tell a kid you're the next Derek Jeter. You'd say, hey, I see that you're working hard, keep doing that. There's a big difference there. It's process over product. Are you praising the product or are you praising the process? In this situation, you want to praise the process. And you want to leverage as much pressure against that process as you possibly can to get it done faster, to get it stronger, to get it done better. Remember, adding time to something doesn't make it better. Just because you took 40 hours to get something done doesn't make it better. This is kind of the problem with, or I think it's the problem with how people are getting paid right now. Money is a really nice medium that we don't have to barter for shit anymore. But at the same time, I think getting paid an hourly wage is ridiculous. No, pay me for what I did. Don't pay me per hour. Who cares about per hour? Like, I could have sat there and watched Netflix the whole time for that hour and then gone and worked on your thing for 4 minutes. Or I could have just gotten it done in 4 minutes and you paid me the same amount. And then I didn't even have to watch the Netflix. Then I go on to the next person. But that's entrepreneurship. And exercise, it's the same thing. Adding time to your workout doesn't make it better. Being late for your workout definitely doesn't make it better. Going easy through your workout doesn't make it better. Being ordering the easy thing doesn't make you get to your goal faster. The easy way is to order the pizza, skip the workout, and lay on the couch. Is that going to make it easier or harder to get up off that couch? Now you just keep sinking in and looking more like that couch. Your body just keeps looking more and more like that couch. You keep feeling more and more like that couch. You keep on losing more and more like that couch. That couch isn't going anywhere. You are not built to be a couch. You got to get up and you got to go. Easy is where it gets hard. Hard is where it gets easy. If you do the things that nobody else is going to do, you leverage pressure against yourself as hard as you possibly can. And I mean getting like claustrophobic. I mean like right now you don't realize you're confining yourself to this little tiny box, but you are. You got to bust out. You got to get so uncomfortable in that little tiny box that you can't stand it. This is part of the reason that I say if you want to lose 10 pounds or you want to lose a certain amount of weight, go buy new clothes and make sure that every one of them is is a little bit too small. Just a little bit too small so that when you put them on, you still need to be able to get them on, but that they are so outrageously uncomfortable that you cannot stand it. You want to buy clothes that are just a little bit too small so that when you put them on, you can't wait to get out of your chair. You can't wait to not eat. You're not even you have no appetite because you're just like, I can't stand how I feel with these pants on. That's how you want to feel. That's one way to leverage pressure against where you're going. Okay. Because you were going to find a way to fit into those pants because it's on your mind all the time. You want that pressure. That's why we do the One Life journal, so that when you are in this thing, you are writing down your goals first thing in the morning, and at night you're leveraging pressure against yourself. Okay, because it makes it real in your mind. It's not just the lazy person's way that puts it up on a wall, that writes their goal up on a wall so that they see it every day. Give me a break. Write it down every morning and every night. It makes a huge difference. Write down targets and do everything that you possibly can to hit that target that day. That night, you're going to write down all your successes, or at least 2 of your successes. You know how hard it is? The hardest thing on this thing is finding those successes. I almost guarantee it will be for you too. It is for me. It'll be hard to find those successes. You want to find those successes, though, because you need something to catapult you into the next day. Okay? And you want to find out what you could have improved upon. And be real clear there. Be real clear. This is what you want to do. And then when you're writing out your day, you spill in everything. Obviously, that I haven't done this day yet. I don't want to show a day that I had done, because it would just be my handwriting looks like hieroglyphics. It's terrible. You want to fill in every single space on this. You don't want any white space or any gray space, because you don't want to give yourself the option. 15 minutes is done. Bam, I'm into the next thing. 15 minutes is done with that, I'm into the next thing. 15 minutes is done with that, I'm into the next thing. This is you. I'm saying but you, me, all of us, both of us, into the next thing, so that we can get more done, so that we can be we can be careless in the rest of our time with the people that we actually like being with. We can be inefficient there. We want to be efficient here. We want to leverage against ourselves. We want pressure. We want a ton of pressure. Everyone is looking to make their lives easier, and it doesn't get better that way. Everybody's looking for this freedom. They're like, oh, I want to be free of, I don't want to do this task, or if I just do this, then I won't have to do that. Get it done as fast as you possibly can, and then you don't have to think about it anymore. Then you don't have to drown it out in your head anymore. Then you don't have to deal with it. Aaron says, thank you for saying that. I do have a really hard time figuring out my successes each day. Oh, you mean in the One Life Planner? Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing. You know, writing down my goals. I'm a big thinker. I've always been like this, like setting huge goals that are completely unattainable, that to me just seem crazy out there. Like nobody could ever do that. And the interesting thing is, I'll find these things later on, like 10 years later or whatever, because I've been doing the goal setting thing since I was in junior high. And I'll look at them and be like, oh my God, I attained this. Like I remember being 139 pounds or 140 pounds, I guess, when I was in 8th grade. And I remember writing down on a sheet of paper that I wanted to weigh 235 pounds. And the funny thing is, I didn't put a date on any of these. So this is very primitive in my early days of writing goals. And I put that everywhere. I put it in my locker. I put it in my like the locker that you had for football or whatever sport you were. If you're an athlete where I went to school, you got a locker. And then I would put it in my locker at school. And then I would also put it, I put it right beside my bed, like right on the wall beside my bed. And so I would see it every day. And I thought that this was going to get me there. Now, the interesting thing is, I am now like no one in my family is that big. Like nobody's this big. Everybody looks like a cross-country runner. I now weigh 235 pounds. See what I mean? It's pretty cool stuff. Or I'll find these things in like times that I wanted for football, like an L drill and a pro agility in a certain amount of time. I ended up getting these things. This is the craziest thing. Later on, I ended up getting these things. And I think don't set that intention going. So it had to be that. But what I didn't do very well was I didn't bring others into my atmosphere, because I didn't think that anybody would believe. And I still do this to this day, which is kind of crazy. But I didn't want to tell anybody. I wanted to keep it a secret. I didn't want to tell. I didn't tell my parents, and I didn't tell my siblings, which is interesting because it's sitting there on a wall. It's in my locker. It's everywhere. Everybody could probably read it. I don't think they did. Otherwise, they probably would have confronted me about it. But it's there, and I didn't ask them for pressure, and I wouldn't have liked it even if they did. And what I would do different is I would go back in time and I would get a coach for all of these different things. I would. If I had the means, I would, and there's always the means. You can always find the means. The last time that we hired a business coach, there was no way that I possibly could have the coaching that we got. There's just no possible way. And maybe I shouldn't tell the story, but I have a goal to help billions of people in a positive way. I don't know how that's going to happen yet. I want to help billions of people in a positive way. But if you think about it, I don't even remember. If somebody's on the call, look up how many years are in a billion seconds. I think it's like 30 years or something like that. So there's no way that I could help a billion people in a positive way. But putting out these videos, maybe shaking enough hands, maybe the pay it forward effect of everything that I've learned is positively having a positive impact on a billion people, I think could happen. Where was I going with that? I don't remember. But I got this business coach because business matters. Wealth matters, health matters, relationships matter, time, things that are great resources. I've had a coach for every one of these. I literally have had a mentor in every single one of these departments because they are that important to me. Because if I can become the most incredible version of myself, I can have the most incredible life possible, but also I can fulfill the goals, wishes, desires that I have to give back to the world. Because I'm an extremely idealistic person. Sometimes it's not something I even like to be because it's tough to be an idealist. It's tough to not go cynical. But I wish that looking back now that I would have told everybody and I would have asked them for help. I would have said, no matter what I say, no matter how bad I kick and scream, no matter how much I say that I don't want to do this anymore, push me out the door. Get me to get out of bed. Push me to do these things. Push me to go work out. Push me. I would leverage pressure. So I would put pressure on myself to get this done in any way that I possibly could. And that's kind of the thing that we talked about in the One Life Planner, in the Cost of Courage. It's getting pressure against yourself. That's what really having a coach is all about. Is if you have that coach there to put pressure upon you. Really, if you think about what's a coach do? A coach gets you to do something you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. Like anybody could, you would miss out on the expertise and you would miss out on the camaraderie and stuff like that. But people could do workouts in their garage. They could do it. It would just suck. Being around other people, being around an extremely positive and safe environment, being with a coach that really knows what they're talking about, being with somebody that maybe you're not a rah-rah person, which is not what we really do it, but that practical, well, you're going to do this or you're not going to do this. One of my early mentors, my high school football coach, was very good at this. He'd just be like, well, are you going to or are you not going to? Is essentially what he was always saying. And it was just, and for someone like me that is extremely motivated, extremely passionate, extremely high energy, it's like that almost sounds like a challenge. So it's like, all right, let's go. Let's do this. I want that. So you want to challenge yourself. You do not want to do the opposite, which is what everybody else does. Everybody else does this thing where they try to let themselves off the hook. They're like, oh, it's not that big a deal if I don't get that done. Oh, I don't want that. I want to be free in my life. I don't want to feel claustrophobic in my own life. I don't want to feel confined to I don't want to feel that pressure. That pressure is uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. That's the pressure that you want to feel. When you feel that discomfort, you want to run from it. Stay present in that moment. Stay present with that discomfort. Stay there. You want that. You want that. You want to employ that into your life. If there was a way that you could multiply that over and over and over and over, you would do that. If I had somebody or anything that could do that, I would. You want to do that, but you want to do that for yourself because nobody's coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. This is one of these big, big topics that I hope everybody can figure out. You're the only person that can come to save you. Even if you get a counselor, therapist, you get a coach, you get everybody, you could get your family, everybody in the world around you. But nobody can get in here except you. You can let them in. You can let them, you can let their influence, let them in. But ultimately, that's still your responsibility to do that. You want to employ this pressure against yourself, and you want to take that responsibility that you are your own hero. You are the driver. You are the whole show. You are the everything. You're creating, like you're even bouncing the idea. These ideas that I'm shooting out there right now, you're bouncing them around in your head based off of the foundation that you've built up in your life to this point. Everything you have learned in your life up to this point, everything that has influenced you, every statement, every movie, every book, you are basing what I am saying off of that. So what's going on in my head is going to be completely different than what's going on in your head, even though we're right here, right now. It's wild. But you don't want to get in that trap of no one can. You don't want to get in that trap of I just want to be free to do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. Well, yeah, I do too. Everybody wants that, but I don't want. But if I give myself that freedom by doing what I didn't want to do, by leveraging upon things that I didn't want to happen, then I do get to live that way later on. And not even later on, then I do get to, like today, woke up and from 6:30 to 8:30, I worked on my book. Then I went to work out. Then I had a meeting over breakfast. And then I had a bunch of other stuff to do. And then I'm doing this. And then I'm going to go on to something else. Tonight, about 9 o'clock, I will shut off. And I'll just be like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to hang out with Rach. We're going to have supper. I know that's a late supper. 7 p.m. rule is bullshit, so don't even worry about that. What was I saying? So then I'm going to shut off. Then I want to be inefficient. I just want to be hang. I just want to be chill. There's no pressure there. I don't want pressure in that aspect of my life. I want the pressure in the rest of it. And you do too. This is how you want to leverage as much pressure as you possibly can. Don't fall into the other trap. It's bogus. It's not going to get you the life that you want to live. You want to be free. You want to do whatever you want whenever you want to do it. And you want the most for everybody around you. Put pressure upon yourself. Leverage as much pressure as you possibly can upon you. And you will get what you did want in the first place. But guys, please head over to Amanda Scott's page. Amanda Scott, it's exactly how you think it's spelled. AmandaScott. Yeah, I think I got that right. Anyway, you can head over to my page, Adam Reese. There's probably something around here that was shared with my personal stuff on it, but there's a video there, and it has a link there. And then hit right post, WRITE, and then do at Amanda Scott, at Adam Reese. That way I know that I did it. Write something nice about Amanda. This is a really cool, really pretty incredible thing that she's doing. 176 miles in 7 days in order to raise money to help her family, because her mom and her sister both have had their health stripped away from them because of MS, which should be a curable disease in the near future. It's amazing that we don't have a cure for it yet. But go over and share that out. Tag both of us in it so that I know that you did. And I don't know, I'll probably do something special at the July 1st deal. But anyway, July 1st, tomorrow, halfway point in 2017, start leveraging pressure. Start leveraging pressure against yourself to become everything this year. Thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate it.